Darkcast Network. Welcome to the dark side of podcasting.
Nominated as one of the best British true crime podcasts, Murder Mile is hailed as a masterpiece of compelling storytelling. Research using the original police files, over 300 episodes, Murder Mile has covered hundreds of crimes you won't hear anywhere else, as well as solving cold cases, unearthing new evidence, and even discovering a serial killer no one even knew existed. For a truly original podcast, subscribe to Murder Mile.
Devil is on his way. Devil is on his way, motherfucker. The devil gonna make you pay. Fall to your knees. Devil is on his way. Fall to your knees. Devil gonna make you pay. Fall to your knees. Devil is on his way.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Mountain Murders. I'm Heather.
And I'm Dylan.
Dylan, this is like episode... Gosh, we are so far up there right now.
It's like episode 2 million.
Yeah, no, it's like 576.
Okay.
Like 576 episodes. That's a lot.
That's hard to believe.
I never thought we would arrive here in this moment.
We're on the road to 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of those episodes, upwards of 2 hours.
Gosh.
That's crazy.
That's a lot.
That is a lot, and
you guys are lucky.
Can you
all
believe
this time we spend together?
that? You know, I was thinking the other day, they have literally, our listeners, being they, have literally, you can chart our life and our relationship in its entirety, for the most part, in this podcast. The highs, the lows, you know, all the times you exclaim how incredible and awesome that I am.
Yeah. Changes
in our life, big changes.
Right.
So, yeah, it's pretty wild.
We share a lot. Sometimes we overshare. Maybe a little bit.
Hey, you know, we just want people to know that podcasters are just real people, too.
We just keep it real.
That's right.
We don't put on no airs.
We keep it 100.
That's right.
All right.
Okay, Dylan, I have to make an announcement. We are gearing up for a new series on Patreon.
This is going to be fun, and it's going to be, I think it's a long time coming, right?
Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but at patreon.com/mountainmurderspodcast, we are beginning a new series. I like when we focus on a series, you know, it kind of gives me something to like just really dig into.
Right.
We're going to start examining the West Memphis 3 case.
And that's a huge, huge case, right?
And I have to say, I've already started digging my way down into this rabbit hole. It goes in so many directions. Fortunately, there is a lot of information out there, documentaries, podcasts, books, interviews, you know, lots of media. So we're in for a treat, I do believe. And I have to say, you know, I thought I knew everything there was to know about this case. But when you really dig into it, I mean, there's actually a lot of stuff you learn or you forgot or you find out, you know?
Right.
And we just finished watching Paradise Lost.
Yeah. And I just realized how many years it'd been since I'd seen this.
So that documentary was made in 96. And I think the first time I saw it would have been around 98 because I was a senior in high school. And I found it very, very, very disturbing because there's some graphic images in the documentary.
Now, you pointed out it's not the best made documentary.
Well, no, I don't think it's a very well done documentary. I'll be honest.
It's not, but I think it stands out. Even people that maybe watched it many years ago like we did, it probably still stands out to them as being kind of powerful. And honestly, I think that having recently just watched it, I think that really is the graphic nature of, especially back then when it was made, it wasn't that often that you had video and
Oh, right,
pictures
yeah.
and the video of the scene
The crime scene.
with
yeah.
the poor little boy's remains still in place, and it's pretty raw, right? It's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
There you can feel the raw emotion in this community through this documentary, right? And you can the intense pressure that seems to surround everyone involved, right? And I think that's a very important component of how this all worked out.
Right. And we'll be touching on all of that in our series, Dylan.
I can't wait. You know, you're like an old flesh-eating beetle on a dead elephant, right? You really,
Chomp, chomp.
you really just bore your way down to the center of the truth.
Yum, yum. It's me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I always enjoy having a good, solid discussion with you, Dylan. I
What?
never know what you're going to say, what you're going to be thinking.
You know, I don't either, and I really think that's. I think that's
the magic.
That's the magic of my contribution to this podcast. And I really like it when we sometimes do well-known big cases, and I have to think that the West Memphis 3 is one of those that broke through into the public, you know, beyond just true crime fans.
Right. So I thought the Patreon was a very a good place for that.
It is.
Right. So eager to get that going, and hopefully, you know, some folks might be interested in joining us at Patreon so they can be part of that West Memphis 3 series. Moving along, Dylan, we have a case today, and I'm just going to preface this with saying, you know, sometimes we have emotional reactions to cases, right?
It's true.
And this is a case, and it's not that like some murders are worse than others or some cases are more important than others. It's nothing like that. But sometimes there's just specifics, you know, in a case, things that happened, the victim, the assailants, that just makes you feel some type of way.
Yeah, I think it's oftentimes the circumstance of,
Right.
like you said, all murder's bad.
Murder's bad, okay?
Don't murder.
The fact that we have to say that.
But I think sometimes people can kind of get a reflection of their own life or experiences in a case, you know, as far as the perpetrator or the you know, people involved the way they may act and do, and yeah, it can evoke a really strong reaction.
Well, I have to say, Dylan, this is a case, it just makes me spitting mad because of the senseless nature of this case and the people who are involved. And, you know, when I see a case like this, and let's be honest, in a lot of murder cases, we have the victim, you know, the person who lights up the room, is popular, well-liked.
Give you the shirt off their back.
Going places, all that, right?
Right.
And then you get some perpetrator, some assailant that's just a loser shitbird going nowhere fast.
When you get someone who volunteers at the dog shelter for amputated animals and things like that, you know, that helps drag them across the floor, you know, helps them eat.
What is wrong with you?
No, look, senseless, random violence, honestly, pisses me off.
Yeah,
the
no,
worst.
this story pisses me off.
No, even when it's for greed,
So I'm just going to go ahead and let people know, like, this case pisses me off.
even when it's for, you know, jealousy or greed or money or insurance money or custody of the kids. I don't agree with any of that. I think it's a stupid thing you did, but it still makes more sense to me than just random. This is about pure random violence, this story.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's get into it, Dylan.
That's what we're here for.
Let me tell you all about it. Brandy Stevens Rosine was born November 30th of 1991 to parents Carrie and Michael Rosine in Youngstown, Ohio, which is nestled between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So kind of halfway between these two cities. Brandy was close with her family growing up. She had sisters, large family, cousins. She liked to spend time with her grandparents. Very family-oriented young woman.
Well, must be nice.
As a child, she was described as sweet and bubbly. And let me just say, she is adorable, and she has a face that you just want to kind of squeeze her. She's so cute, and you can just tell she exudes like this sweetness. Like, you can just tell she's sweet and bubbly.
Oh, when you see a happy little kid like that, they kind of, livens everybody's mood up that they come in contact with.
Well, even as a grown woman, I mean, she's just adorable. Like, she really does have like kind of a light around her. Brandy had a love for cats, music, riding go-karts, and creative writing. And it appears that Brandy liked bands such as My Chemical Romance, Led Zeppelin, Nirvana. Music was a big part of Brandy's life. Not only did she love concerts like the Warped Tour, but she played music. Brandy played upright bass in the orchestra at school. She played in the school orchestra for like 8 years.
Oh, wow.
That takes dedication, talent.
The upright bass.
Yeah, I mean, how cool is that?
That's awesome.
I think that's so badass. And at home, she liked to jam on an electric bass and jam with friends. Now, I don't know if she really had like a band going on, but you get together, you play with your friends. Everybody can play an instrument. I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
No, it's a good time.
Have a little jam sesh. Now, when it came to school, Brandy excelled academically. She attended Boardman High School in Boardman, Ohio. She was a staff member of the school newspaper, the Boardman Bugle. Brandy also had a daring and adventurous side. As I mentioned before, she was into go-karts, and she liked riding her cousin's four-wheelers.
Yeah, that's got to be fun, right? I mean, I always wanted to have friends who had things like that. As a kid growing up, I think one of the things I always wish I had or had access to was go-karts, four-wheelers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dirt bikes.
I mean, anytime I had access to that, it was usually because my friends or my cousins, like someone I knew had a four-wheeler or a go-kart. I had, a bike with training wheels. It was about the extent of it. Christy Horvat became one of Brandy's closest friends and confidants. Brandy lived behind Christy's family from the time she was in the 6th grade. In high school, Brandy moved in with her grandparents. She and Christy maintained a close friendship. Christy always knew there was something a little different about her friend Brandy. So when Brandy decided it was time to share an important part of herself, she went to Christy, someone she had known a long time, trusted, and really she knew Christy was going to give her unconditional love and support.
Well, it's about feeling comfortable with someone if you're going to share like I guess a secret or some, big part of you.
Brandy told Christy she was gay. Growing up in a small conservative town, Brandy felt afraid to address this part of herself for fear of judgment or ridicule. And it is my understanding that coming out can be difficult for a lot of people, especially young people. You don't really know how your family is going to react. Are they going to accept it? Are your friends going to be okay with it?
Now, could you imagine having this thing about yourself, or this secret, if you will, that quite possibly, could change the way people act and feel towards you? Everyone, your family, friends, everyone around you. Yeah, that must be a very tough thing to deal with.
Well, really, and I mean, and to be honest, that sucks. We should all be able to be who we are and love who we are without judgments.
Right.
I mean, unless you're dating a shitbird, right?
Well, yeah, but
your mom and dad might tell you like, hey, that person's a piece of crap, but we should all be able to just be ourselves.
Well, I guess I hate that these people in this situation feel like they have to hide that.
Well, there's that, and the feeling that almost like coming out is so scary for so many people. And I don't know. I mean, just as a human being and as a parent, I can't imagine ever rejecting someone for sharing this with me.
Right.
Because I love you. You're my friend. You're my child. I'm going to love you no matter what.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's just a small part of who you are in the grand scheme of things, and I love everything about you. So awesome. I'm glad you told me. I mean, but I don't understand families who reject their children. I'll never understand that.
No, for any reason, for who they date or, maybe their, sexual orientation, any of that, it really, but it's the societal pressure that really creates these situations.
Right. And, as we've progressed a little bit, I'd like to think that we're a bit more evolved in 2025. It does seem, I think as a whole, society has maybe loosened up a bit, not so uptight, more accepting.
Well, the one thing I'll say about that is, as I was growing up, all I ever remember the message about acceptance and everything in our society was everyone's the same. Basically, we're all human. And we all want to be treated the same, right?
Yeah.
You want the same rights and be treated the same. But honestly, in the modern day, it seems like everyone's like boxing themselves off in these small groups, these subgroups. And it seems less like the message is about we're all the same. It's about like carrying on about our minor differences.
Well, yeah, that's a conversation.
Well, that's
for
another
time.
Wow,
Dylan.
damn,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm shutting you down.
That was deep though.
No, but Christy, of course, I mean, this is one of her good friends or like best friends. So again, she's going to offer that unconditional love and support. And she tells Brandy, girl, there is nothing wrong with you. Being gay is just a part of who you are, and it doesn't matter who you love. Like, I love you. You're my friend. You're awesome. Thanks for telling me, but like, it's not really a big deal.
Now, can you imagine the relief as each person when you tell them something like this and you get a reaction like this?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it seems based on interviews with Christy and Brandy's loved ones that she was unapologetically herself. She dressed the way she wanted to, and it's in what I would describe as kind of like an alternative style. At that time, this is the early 2010s. Probably like emo.
Okay.
Kind of emo punk. That look, back checkerboard belts and band t-shirts.
Nice.
She always had like a cute, short, funky haircut. Brandy was who she was. She's just walking to the beat of her own drum. And I always give props to people who are just themselves.
Well,
like they make no beef about who they are. They're just like, here I am. I'm unabashedly this person. And whether it's they have their own unique style or whatever, they're quirky. I'm just always like, cool, yeah, like be who you are.
Well, I think that's because you're a person like that. I mean, you're not gay, but it's not much different.
How do you know?
You want to come out to me here on the podcast?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm maybe have been a little gay before.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you've had an alternative style and around a bunch of people who kind of, picked on you for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I totally can identify. Maybe that's one reason why I kind of identify with Brandy is because I have always been like different. Even as a little kid, I kind of did my own thing, would wear stuff like that, other kids would be like, what are you doing? If I wanted to wear snakeskin cowboy boots with my pink frilly dress to school, I did, and I have always been kind of like different and alternative. So I understand growing up in a small town, what it's like to be different and maybe even be a little bit of a misfit or an outcast, not accepted. People pick on you over something as stupid as they don't like your clothes. I mean,
which is so dumb.
It's silly. Brandy was loving and compassionate. She dreamed of a world without judgment and hatred. Brandy accepted everyone around her, and she really hoped that folks in her orbit would accept her as well. And it seems that Brandy embraced the people around her and was a fiercely loyal and caring friend. She often gravitated to people who were going through tough times. Brandy really liked being a rock, someone people knew they could count on and lean on, whether they needed a hug or just anything really. And let's be honest, Brandy sounds like a light in this world.
She does.
Right? She's a great friend. She's the ideal friend. Always there for those she loves. Again, she's loyal, devoted. And how many of us are lucky enough to find a friend like this in life?
Well, yeah. And I'm sure the people that have a friend like this recognize how lucky they are and how important that is.
Absolutely. So Brandy graduated in 2010 and she enrolled at Youngstown State University where she studied sociology and psychology. I'm not sure what future goals Brandy had laid out for herself, but it sounds like with those, majors, like a double major in psychology, sociology, she would likely want to help people.
Well, yeah, I would.
Be it a counselor or a social worker, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing her career goal was probably involved some kind of, help or assistance or, serving people. Because that's the kind of person she was.
Now, could you ever imagine yourself working in a capacity like that? Helping people, kind of serving your community in ways?
Do I have to? No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, you say that, but, I've done volunteer work.
Well, I know you were in the Navy.
And
Thank you for your service.
A call to serve.
And so, yeah, I've never really done anything like that, honestly.
Given of yourself.
Well, I've given
generously.
Well, I've given to myself before.
You've given to yourself?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Very generously.
I know you give to yourself all the time.
That's not true.
Since Brandy was a lesbian in a small town, meeting friends and companions could be tricky. She turned to the internet to make new friends. It was in 2009 that Brandy had met another young woman on the internet named Jade Olmstead. The pair hit it off, sharing many of the same interests, and it was a great friendship. They both liked playing video games, going to concerts. They had similar music interests. They liked taking nature walks together, or that was something they both kind of enjoyed. So, she meets this girl online. They have a lot in common, and Jade comes from a bit of a troubled home. It was described that she had a deeply religious household, and that Jade's parents were not exactly accepting of her homosexuality. This led to a lot of arguments. Jade withdrew and struggled internally, resenting the situation. She was kind of the opposite of Brandy. Jade lacked confidence. She didn't really have a path forward or plans for the future. Brandy would be the person who Jade would kind of turn to talk things out. So right off the bat, they're close. They've got this good friendship. Jade has realized pretty quickly, Brandy's someone I can count on. She's there for me. She's going to listen, give me advice, kind of help me through, tough periods.
Right. And I'm sure they had a lot of, kind of bonded over those, similar feelings. But you know what? If I was a homosexual, I'd be an in-your-face homosexual. Like, I would be like, yeah, I'm gay, so what? I would just be like, I'm so gay.
Well,
and what are you going to do about it?
Don't really know how that's relevant, but thanks for sharing.
You're not going to make me ungay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to send you to like a conversion camp.
It's
or
not going to
like
work.
That. Is this your way of telling me something?
Well, maybe not.
Because,
No, but early on.
I love you, and I still find you as annoying now as I did 10 minutes ago.
Oh, even if I was gay, that wouldn't change?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure you would still be annoying and
No.
get on my nerves.
Well, early on with the internet, I think this was one of the positives, one of the bright sides of it. You could meet,
connect with new people.
But it's like almost like you knew that you already had these shared interests and stuff, and so you can meet people outside of your community without having the means to travel around and things like that. And I think it was a very good thing early on of the early internet.
Yeah. So when Brandy and Jade finally make the decision to meet in person, they really hit it off. I'm sure Jade was kind of smitten with Brandy. Brandy was a little bit older. She had her life in order. Brandy worked. She went to college. She had goals. And Jade seemingly was just sort of floating around a bit directionless at the time. I don't think she was in college. She didn't have a job. She didn't have a car. She was just kind of...
So she definitely didn't have the same goals or similar goals.
Well, not yet. You
Right.
know, and she's still young. I mean, she is 2 years younger than Brandy, but, she doesn't quite have... I'm just going to say she doesn't quite have her shit together the way Brandy does. Brandy had a car. She worked 2 jobs. Brandy had spending money. And like I said, Jade didn't really have a car or a job. Brandy would give Jade rides. When Jade needed to get out of the house, Brandy rolled up. She and Jade would take these long drives, turn the music up, just kind of blow off steam.
Yeah.
Right? Shortly after meeting each other, the two would move past friendship and enter into a romantic relationship. And this was Brandy's first, girlfriend.
Okay.
Right? Like, she's inexperienced. She's never really had a girlfriend before this. So this is kind of like her first real relationship. And, it's a big deal.
No, it's a very big. So this is her first real relationship of any kind, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very big deal.
Yet from the outside, it started to seem like Brandy was Jade's errand girl. Brandy shuttled her around, paid for their dates. She would give Jade money and provided a lot of support just emotionally, like acting as Jade's therapist almost. Brandy loved Jade, so being selfless, fulfilling her girlfriend's needs wasn't a burden to Brandy. Brandy saw it as this is just how you treat the person you love.
And that's true in a way, I think. But, when you have people around you observing that maybe your relationship seems a bit transactional or one way, if you will, that can be concerning for the people around you.
Well, and I think others kind of recognized this and maybe even thought that Jade maybe was taking advantage of Brandy's generosity. I mean, she's got a very generous spirit. She's so loving and caring. Friends were left wondering, what's Brandy really getting out of this relationship? Because it sort of seems like Brandy's doing a lot of giving.
She's doing the heavy lifting.
But what's she receiving, right? Like, what is Jade doing to, fill Brandy's cup, so to speak?
And what I will say is we don't know.
Well, we don't know
what she's getting out of that. It could be very fulfilling for her in ways, emotionally. She may get a lot of support,
maybe
emotionally from Jay. But it's easy, and I could see if I was Brandy's friend, I would be like, hey, I mean, well, it comes to the point like you're busting your butt. You got 2 jobs. You're young, working, got a car. You have plans.
got it going on.
And then when you get with someone who's not doing those things, it's very easy to be like, hey. Don't let that other person bring you down or kind of get in your way of your goals.
You're right. And it's a two-way street. I mean, sometimes you can get with someone who's a real go-getter and motivated, and they encourage you to kind of follow suit, and then you're inspired by their hard work and dedication, how they're fulfilling their dreams, and then it kind of motivates you to want to, do better, be better.
Right.
Be the best, and then you kind of get into that same mindset. But you're also right. It can also end, and I've seen those relationships where one partner is kind of the go-getter or the other partner is a little bit of a bum. I hate to say that. And then, they kind of end up bringing down the other partner.
Right.
So it does go both ways. Brandy's grandparents were more old school, traditional in their values, and they didn't really accept Brandy and Jade as a couple. They love Brandy. It's I'm sure they love her. They want to accept her, but maybe they just don't fully understand.
Right.
They're of a different generation. And I know people will say that, well, they're from a different generation. And a lot of folks will be like, well, they're old enough. That's not an excuse. They should know better. But sometimes with older people, even if I disagree with them or think they're narrow-minded or whatever, I just kind of am like, whatever. They're older and set in their ways, and it's not really my place to get up in their face and tell them, your views are ignorant. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but, also sometimes people say that in a way that almost is like an excuse.
Right.
But that's still... just because you're from a different time, set in your ways, and I'm not saying they're doing this, but it doesn't give you license to be mean or hateful.
Well, and I don't really think her grandparents were like that. I mean, Brandy and her grandparents were super close. She's living with them at the time. Growing up, she loved her grandparents, and they have a great relationship. But I think her grandparents are just a little maybe uncertain about Brandy's sexuality, I'm sure as a grandparent, that's not the last thing you want to think about with your grandchild is their sexuality and what they're, what the young person is doing sexually is probably not what you want to be thinking about. And it doesn't seem like that they were like mean or anything like that, but they maybe were not so welcoming with like Jade coming over to the house, spending the night,
and if
that type of stuff.
They are religious, and depending on the religion, this kind of thing goes against what they think is moral and religious. Agree or disagree?
Well, again,
but I'm saying is it's hard. They think that this is a bad thing for like the eternal. I mean, it's like a big deal. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to think about, but it's not an easy little small thing to them.
Yeah, and I think that's so tricky to get into talking, when you're discussing like religious convictions, but also, love and acceptance. I mean, it just gets tricky. So again, I'm not like condemning her grandparents. From what I understand, they really did seem like they loved Brandy and were really good people,
So basically, they didn't cut her off.
No, she's living in their house.
But they're still not fully accepting of
it
her
sounds like they
same
just
sex.
maybe were not so welcoming with Jade. Like,
right.
It maybe made them feel uncomfortable to have this other young woman in their house, holding hands, kissing their granddaughter. Like, maybe that was just a little too much for them. I don't know.
They could also be looking at the fact that Brandy's working, doing all these things we outlined, and Jade's not.
You could.
So if she was a man or a woman, that she's still kind of a bum.
Well, it could be that as well. I mean, I don't really know, right? So when the pair wanted to hang out, often Brandy would kind of wait until her grandparents were gone, like they were at work or out of the house, like she knew they'd be gone for some hours or whatever, to bring Jade over to hang out. So she'd kind of like sneak Jade in so they could hang out. Sometimes Brandy would go to work and Jade would often stay behind in Brandy's room, just kind of like hiding out in the room.
I personally would be so uncomfortable in a situation like that.
Oh, yeah.
I could never do that.
Yeah.
Ever.
But I mean, this is not much different from any I mean, I've heard of, whether you're lesbian or you're straight or whatever, people sneaking their
that's got nothing to
partner
do with
in and
right.
I mean, that kind of happens across the board. But yeah, I would have never been comfortable with like sneaking in someone's house or sneaking someone in my house and trying to hide it. I'm not very good at covering things like that up.
Well, I just couldn't enjoy myself at all. I would be so nervous and
weirded out.
Yeah.
And I'd feel like I was doing something wrong.
Let alone like being the one that stays behind in your room at your grandparents' house.
What about when you have to pee or
and
something?
they don't even like me?
I hope she has a bathroom in the access in the bed,
But like I left you a bucket over there in the corner.
I mean, for real. Like,
bag of Cheetos from last night if you get hungry.
What happens when the Taco Bell hits, right?
I'll be back later. Check on
I mean,
you.
what's grandma in the kitchen like? Oh, there's like a phantom pooper in the house, right? Anyway, I know we're being silly. Now, during the summer of 2011, their relationship kind of ran its course. One night while Brandy was working a late shift at Target, Jade stole her iPod and some cash. Now, it's been said that Jade went through the window at Brandy's grandparents' house. So I don't know if she like broke into Jade's room and stole these things and then left, or if she had been hanging out in Jade's room while Jade was at work, took these things and like left.
Right.
Right. But this upsets Brandy. I mean, she's furious. She trusted Jade and she really sees this as betrayal and a deception. Like, how could you steal from me?
And these are expensive items back then.
Well, they are. And, Brandy starts kind of reevaluating their relationship. And I'm sure she was pissed off over the iPod. I mean, again, she's a music fan. And back in the day when you got an iPod, you curated a playlist. You downloaded those MP3s. You spent a lot of time curating that music. And to have someone take it, I would be mad as hell.
Well, yeah, and I, nowadays there's electronics everywhere you look, and all these different things, ways, apps to do everything you could ever want. But back then,
dude, an iPod back then was like $300.
It was truly
And,
yeah.
you know, that, I mean, I still think $300 is a bit, you know, quite a bit of money, but that was even more expensive,
Oh yeah.
you know, 10 plus years ago.
Yeah, and a personal portable electronic device that costs hundreds of dollars. I mean, it was unheard of, honestly, and it really was a big deal. It was such a big deal when I never had an iPod or what was it?
An iPod?
An iPod. I never had an iPod or the iPod Nano or any of that stuff, you know. But it was God, it was so cool, you know, to be able to have all this music. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You know what? Well, you've seen it. I still have my old iPod.
Yeah.
And it does charge and it still plays. And there have been some times when I'm like, oh, look, my old iPod.
Yeah, we've played it in the car a few
And it's
times.
kind of funny to go back and be like, what was I listening to in like 2010, you know? Well, Brandy broke things off with Jade. I mean, this was just crossing the line. She feels disrespected. And I understand that. The trust has been broken.
Well, yeah, it's not okay to take my things, especially my favorite things, and you probably know that.
She is no longer in the circle of trust. Okay? She's like with Greg. She's outside the circle of trust. Now, this would not be the end, however. Brandy, being Brandy, still felt compelled to provide emotional support and friendship to Jade. Brandy was naive when it came to love and relationships, as I mentioned before, but Jade had been in other relationships, so she had a bit more experience in the ways of love, Dylan.
Oh.
Now, before Brandy, Jade had dated another young woman named Ashley Marie Barber. Ashley has been described as extremely jealous. Some have suggested that Ashley was a bit controlling as well. Like, Jade kind of went along with Ashley, like she goes along to get along, because Ashley's kind of like the dominant partner
Okay.
in the relationship.
She sounds fun.
You like being dominated. What are you talking about?
Well, hey, yeah,
you
but
like
I mean,
being bossed around. If I wasn't here to tell you what to do and when to do it, you would be so lost.
yeah, but I mean, you don't have to be an asshole, you know, about it. And I'm not saying you are. That's why I like the way.
Well, no,
you,
I am sometimes.
I like
but
the way you do it.
I just am.
Yeah,
But you're also kind of ridiculous.
I'm not ridiculous.
Dude, there will be a sign right in front of you that says, like, whatever, and you'll look at it, and then you'll turn around and ask me the same thing that's written on the sign, and I point, and like, well, it literally says that right there, Dylan. And
Well,
you're
I'm
just, like, confused.
seeking.
Huh?
I'm seeking a confirmation on what I just saw.
No, I really think you're just really fucking late. Like, you're so lazy, you don't even want to, like, read the sign in front of you.
I'm working on stuff in my head, important things. I don't have time for frivolous daily things.
But you're not.
But I am.
All you're thinking about is when you can go home and, like, take a nap or something.
When my grand thing is revealed, you're going to be like, oh my God, I see what was.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to be around when you, whatever. I don't want you to reveal anything to me. You've revealed enough in these 7 years of marriage.
I see what was taking all his brain, his bandwidth and energy. This is amazing. Possibly could change the world.
Okay. Now you're just lying. At one time during their relationship, Jade had told Ashley she was being abused at home, but Jade was lying. And it seems that sometimes maybe Jade was not the most truthful person, and she could kind of spin these little stories almost to get attention or sympathy.
It's a form of manipulation.
To kind of be the center of attention. Yeah, it is a form of manipulation.
I
for
think,
sure.
yeah.
And I don't know why she made up this story about being abused at home, but Ashley decided it was time to confront Jade's family about the abuse. And again, I mentioned that Jade's family was quite religious, and they were not very accepting of Jade being a lesbian or being in a relationship with another woman. So Ashley confronted Jade's parents about their relationship. Like, hey, we're queer, we're here.
Get used to it.
What are you gonna fucking do about it?
Yeah, that's
exactly.
that's me. That's
Right.
what I would do.
As well as about this alleged abuse. And the episode resulted in the Olmsteads calling the police and having Ashley Barber removed from their property.
Oh, damn.
And I don't have details or like specifics. I don't know if it turned violent, but it sounds like it wasn't a pretty situation.
At the least, it was loud.
And they had to get this girl like taken away.
A verbal altercation, a heated exchange.
Yes.
Probably asked her to leave, and she wouldn't. I'm just speculating.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime you have to call the police and have someone removed, I mean, that just lets me know that like they're being a little bit unreasonable. Because if you're at someone else's home or property and they tell you to leave, you best get in your car and leave.
Well, I would leave. You
best, like Uncle Buck said, get in your mouse and drive away.
I would leave. I'd be like, I didn't even want to be here in the first place. I didn't even like you people when we was cool.
Even though I come over here to...
Right.
Yeah.
But you got to
I
say...
still don't like you.
Yeah, that don't mean I like you just because I ate your macaroni.
Stupid.
I like macaroni. I get
See what I deal with? Since Brandy had broken up with Jade over the theft, she was free to see other people. And that meant, of course, Jade was free to see other people. Jade rekindled her relationship with Ashley. And while Jade is dating Ashley, she's also keeping in contact with Brandy. And honestly, it sounds like she's still kind of using her.
Well, she's always used her to a degree. So that doesn't surprise me.
Look, I don't know Jade, but she reminds me of people, like other people I know. And it just seems like she's self-serving and a user, and she wants to keep Brandy on the line like a fallback plan, or because she knows she can manipulate her and get what she wants out of her.
She's a taker.
But she's also involved with this other woman.
Right. But she takes from people, and it's just me hearing the story. It sounds like she's a taker. She takes emotionally, things, whatever.
Well, and she's manipulative. She's a liar.
Yeah.
She lies about important shit, like her parents are abusing her, that sort of stuff. So if Jade is alone, she turns to Brandy as a friend. She chats her up, asks her for advice, acts like everything is super cool, like we're still buds. But when Ashley is around, Jade ghosts Brandy.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
So it's this very confusing game of like hot and cold for Brandy. You know, she doesn't really understand what's going on. It's like 1 minute Jade's like, for lack of better words, kind of up her butt, like, hey, bestie, whatever. And then she doesn't hear from her for like a week.
Okay.
So she's just like, what are you doing? And, it's like Jade's really playing with Brandy's emotions.
Right.
Because Jade knows Brandy still cares for her. And she's almost just like toying with her or like keeping her on the hook.
So just like Smokey was doing to Big Worm.
Yeah.
You play with my money, you play with my emotions.
Yeah. So like I said, it's this very confusing game, and jealousy soon set in for Ashley, who views Brandy as competition. So when she discovers that Jade is communicating with Brandy, Ashley would flip her shit. She would jump on the phone. She would start sending harassing and like mean text messages to Brandy. And she would often sign them as like from Ashley and Jade.
Oh, basically saying we both feel this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this kind of went on for an extended period of time. And like, I don't know if it was like weeks or months, but it was too long. You know, and the whole time Brandy's like, I don't understand. Like, I dumped her. I don't want to be with her. I didn't forgive her for what she did. I'm not trying to get with her. She's moved on. Like, I'm seeing other people. I mean, so it just seems like Brandy was really confused about this whole thing. Like, why is she targeting me?
Right. That's because Brandy's just getting the one side of everything from Jade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the truth is, Jade is feeding Ashley a bunch of shit like Brandy was abusive to me.
Yeah, who knows?
There was domestic violence in their relationship.
Right.
She was mean to me. That kind of shit.
Well, yeah, and Jade's the going back and forth is the one causing the issues.
Right.
And it sounds like Ashley is a hot-headed individual and jealous, so that's not good.
I mean, Brandy's so confused. She's got Jade acting like a friend one day, and then the next day she's getting all these hateful messages, cussing her out, saying like the cruelest shit ever. like really hurtful stuff. Brandy had never known Jade to be vicious or malicious, so Brandy assumes this is all the work of Ashley.
Right.
Because in all the time she's known Jade, she's never heard Jade, speak this way to anyone. So she's like, I know this is all Ashley, right?
But the best thing she could do is just not talk to either of them.
Well, I agree with you, but she's young. She's not as experienced and worldly as we are, Dylan.
Right.
And again, she's like this really sweet, caring person. So she doesn't maybe want to cut Jade off because she views her as a friend.
Well, and probably a girl like
care
this,
for her.
a person like this thinks I've not done anything wrong. So, you know what I mean? There's really no reason to like have this, cut her off or whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, Brandy's over here like doing her own damn thing. She's working. She's going to college, hanging out, meeting new people.
She's just thinking, well, that's an Ashley problem. That's for her to deal with.
Right. And Brandy does go on some dates. And of course, she talks to some other women, but they don't really have the same hold as Jade. And since Jade was the only woman Brandy had ever dated, it kind of does seem like maybe Brandy was a little bit hung up on the idea of Jade. And when you start comparing people, that's never really going to work out. I mean, people are vastly different. So again, she has all these common interests with Jade. They had, intimacy, which had started as friendship and had grown into this romantic relationship. So she's kind of looking at all that. And then when she goes out on a date with somebody, she's kind of comparing, well, it's not like being with Jade.
Well, I forgot that they were close friends before they were romantic. So that probably makes it harder for her to just cut her off completely.
I mean, Dylan, if I had to go out with someone else, they would never hold a candle to you. How would I ever find anybody to fill your shorts?
Well, can I go with y'all? If you go somewhere cool?
Like where?
I don't know. I don't know where this phantom person's going to take you. I don't know.
Well, honey, you don't like to go out.
Well,
And
yeah,
I don't like to go out either. So the likelihood they're going to take me somewhere, that's pretty slim.
Are y'all just going to be here?
The only place I'm going to go is like to get some food.
Well, can I pick the movie at least?
No.
That we
No,
baby.
Please, no. You pick the worst movies.
That's not true.
It is true. We've talked about this many times before.
I told you got to dig through the dust to find the gems.
But you rarely find a gem, Dylan, and you make me watch some terrible shit that just sucks. You have terrible taste in movies. Now let's move on. Brandy tried forgetting about Jade, and at one point, she even went to a friend and was like, look, I need you to delete Jade's number out of my phone.
She couldn't do it herself?
Yeah, but she was like, I want you to hang on to the number just in case that I want it back. So the friend deleted the number, kept a copy of Jade's number, and eventually Brandy did go to the friend and was like, can I have Jade's number again?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I have to say, I don't know people's numbers anymore. You know what I mean? Used to, you knew, especially frequent contacts, friends, family, whatever. You knew their number by heart.
I remember my phone number from childhood.
Yeah, but nowadays, people like message you or whatever, and you put it in your contacts, and their name comes up. You don't look at the number. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. Think of the 10 people you talk to the most, and can you name their phone numbers?
Well, I don't even talk to 10 people.
Well, I'm just saying.
I only talk to like maybe 5 people.
I don't know your number.
And I know your number.
You
and
do?
honestly, that doesn't surprise me, Dylan.
Well, I'm just saying.
You barely know your name.
All I know is wifey's calling me. That's all I know. That's what my phone tells me.
Good. Let's leave it at that. Then when you get in trouble or something, you can't call me from the jail phone because you don't know my number.
Well, see, that's the problem. I need to know. I'm going to have it tattooed on
have
me.
to figure it out.
You're not going to be able
You're
to
going to
change.
have to find your own bondsman, Dylan.
I'm not going to be able to change carriers anymore.
Now, Brandy tried forgetting about Jade, as I mentioned. She's deleting the phone number. Eventually, she asks, can I please have your number back? There was even a time when Jade was stranded in Baltimore, Maryland, and wanted to return to Ohio. Brandy drove 300 miles to pick up her friend.
See, if I was
her a ride home.
if I was Brandy's friend, I would have destroyed the number. I'd be like, I lost it. I don't know what to tell you. Because it'd been what's best for her.
Well, it would, but Dylan, the young heart wants what the young heart wants, right? So after they return from this road trip, Jade ghosts Brandy again. I mean, this relationship / friendship / whatever it is proving to be toxic. I mean, it seems that Jade is using Brandy, taking advantage of her kindness. She gets what she wants, then she drops Brandy like a hot potato, and I'm sure Brandy is hurt by this.
But yeah, how could you not be?
While this is happening, Jade moves into Ashley's house where they're living. It's my understanding they're living with Ashley's parents, which also is very strange to me. I don't want to go move in with my significant other, but we have to live in your parents' house.
Well, I guess it depends your age. I mean,
no, I would even if I was like 18 years old, I don't want to go move in with my partner at their parents' house. That just seems so awkward.
Well,
and weird.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and I would feel like a bum because you're just going to go like mooch off these people?
Well,
you don't have a job? Are you paying rent? I mean, what are you doing?
When you do that, those people are in your relationship. You know what I mean? You're having a relationship with them as well. And that's just not something I'd want to do.
I don't know. It just seems kind of grody to me. And, maybe somebody is out there like, hey, I'm living with my boyfriend's parents now and I love it. But I would just feel like I'm a bum because I'm not contributing. I don't have a job. I'm just sort of like mooching off these people, eating their food.
Well, I don't think
lounging on their furniture.
I don't think that's going to be a big concern for Jay.
Well, no, I mean, let's be honest. Some people don't really know the meaning of the word shame. Now, the barber's home is located in Meadville, Pennsylvania, which is about 80 miles away from where Brandy is living in Beaver Township. This creates some distance between them, which I'm thinking is probably a good thing.
Right.
Right? So now maybe Ashley and Jade can just focus on each other and leave Brandy alone. Because in all of this, it seems like Brandy's just living her life, doing her own thing, and Jade and Ashley keep sort of instigating issues with her.
Well, that's the thing. Just let her be.
Just let her be, dude.
Leave her alone. And Jade just needs to, pick a direction and quit using Brandy. Basically, I mean, that's all she's doing.
Well, I think that, and again, I don't know Jade, but it seems like she's manipulative and she's got this stuff. She got these low self-esteem and whatever. And I think she likes pitting these two women against each other. She gets some kind of thrill out of the two of them arguing or fighting over her.
I've seen people like male and female like this before, and I just think it's really ridiculous. It's selfish. It's childish. It's all the issues.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Agreed, Dylan. Agreed. Now, despite the fact that Ashley and Jade are together and Brandy's out of the picture, Ashley is still, for some reason, green with envy. She is obsessed with Brandy. She cannot let this go.
She's okay. She's a hater.
She's a hater.
Because I mean, that's how you're not in the same town. I mean, 80 miles is a good fair distance away from someone. Why can't you just go on about your business?
Why do you give a fuck? I guess is my
question. Well,
it's
jealous. It's got to be jealousy.
She's somewhere else. She's doing her thing.
Yeah.
I'm here with you. I won, right?
I won you.
I've got the prize.
I've
got the unemployed going nowhere fast prize.
Manipulative, yeah.
And we're both jobless and we're both going nowhere fast and we can do that together, right?
Yeah, and we're going to have dinner with my parents again.
Yeah, so just leave her. I mean, why? I just don't understand.
Okay, look, there could be multiple reasons. I think it could be jealousy. I think it could be some kind of weird control issue. I think it can be...
She's a fucking bitch?
A drama addict.
Sorry.
Well, I was going to say that. Just addicted to drama and the whole wanting to carry on with someone. I mean, we all know people like that.
Yeah, there are people who really just love that. They really want to fixate and just carry on and have constant drama.
I can't
They
stand it.
thrive on it.
I can't stand drama, and I also want to fix. I don't want people to be mad at each other. I'm a fixer on that level. I want everybody to get along, and the drama, I just don't want it in any form. And I certainly am not going to go seek it out.
We moved away from it.
Yeah,
we literally left. We fled the state to like get away from
We left
other people's drama.
That we're drama addicts and want to drag you into
And our
it.
life has been so much better. I mean, and that's sad to say that other adults can impact your life when you're just living your life and doing your own thing, but other people keep like stalking you, harassing you, won't leave you alone, and you feel like you have to flee to get away from them. But honestly, you know, sometimes that's the best option, right? 'Cause
Well,
then you get some peace.
it is for me, because I just want that peace of mind
Gosh, I know.
to know that I'm not even going to see you.
Sometimes
anywhere.
I tell you, like, wow, our life is kind of boring. But I'm like, but this is what we've always wanted, right? It's boring. It's drama free. We ain't got no troubles.
Yeah, it's like Cheers every day.
It's just like,
Nobody knows my name.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad to feel that way, but it's like such a, relief to just know that like some crazy person's not going to like drive by your house and throw a grenade in your yard or something, right?
They can't afford a grenade.
I went down there to the army surplus.
I got this here grenade, and I forgot to pull the damn pin. Damn it.
Okay, so despite all this, when Ashley and Jade should be like romancing each other in like their parents' basement or whatever, Ashley just can't let it go, and she just sends a barrage of cruel, threatening text messages to Brandy. She's doing this from Jade's phone. Then she goes and posts like harassing comments on Brandy's social media, sends her harassing DMs. Ashley is relentless. And again, I don't understand this kind of behavior, and I never will. In these cases, often a new partner will harass and stalk the ex due to their own insecurities or jealousy. Sometimes it's manipulative and controlling behavior by the new partner. That can just be their motivation, is to be able to like control their girlfriend or boyfriend. Harassment of an ex, I mean, obviously that's very toxic and unhealthy behavior. It's not a normal part of a new relationship.
Well, sometimes they're projecting their own inadequacies on what the other person might do, right? For instance, if your partner's constantly accusing you of cheating, even though you know damn well you're not doing anything that would even, insinuate you're cheating, then they're probably the cheater. Right?
Are you cheating on me?
No. When? When would I win? Would I cheat?
When you're in the bathroom.
Yeah. I sneak a bitch in the vent.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like sneaking Jade to the
yeah, I got a
window.
tiny bitch in the little vent.
She's
Talking about,
tiny?
out.
She's like a little
Well,
Polly
the
Pocket.
vent's small.
She's a little Polly Pocket.
I ain't got no damn woman-sized vents in the house. The hell? Jesus. Come on, get your little tiny ass out here. Let me hug you.
Oh, God.
Hurry up. Don't mind the poop smells. I got to air it out.
Honey, I shrunk my lover. But it does seem like Ashley is using manipulative tactics to control Jade. She like love bombs Jade, but she's also sort of isolating her, like moving her 80 miles away, like get her away from Brandy, get her away from like her family, her other friends. Ashley might be encouraging Jade to participate as some way to like prove her loyalty. Like, if you love me, you're going to tell Brandy, you're going to text her and tell her to go fuck herself.
God, this is so toxic and stupid. And I hate it. I really hate it for Brandy. I've done this before. You just have to change. You have to break off all contact. You have to shut down. And I know it sucks because it's your social media, and especially to young people, that means a lot. But you have to go dark on that shit across the board. And you have to not care what's said. When people say, did you see what so-and-so said? You tell them, no, I didn't. And I don't want you to tell me.
Yeah, I know, right?
You have to go, it's tough, but you have to go dark in such a way. Change your number. Don't talk to people that talk to them. It's just, and that's the only way to get away from These
Yeah,
people.
I mean, it really is the only way to combat
this
type of person.
You can't react. You can't even let them know that you heard such and such, because they thrive on that. Because even like the old saying is, bad publicity is good publicity, or good in a way.
Well, they're like little kids. Like, even negative attention is good attention for them.
Yeah,
They're
so
just so fucking weird and twisted.
cussing them back and
that
stuff.
even like hearing that somebody saw you at the store like gives them a thrill. I mean, it's just fucking weird. Dude.
It is weird, but if you completely ignore, and it's tough, people like this, it's the only way to go. It's the only way to go, because they get off on any kind of contact or interactions, or just to think you're even thinking about them gives them some kind of a little minor win or something. It's fucking weird.
It is fucking weird. So, like, there's definitely some kind of like wacky dynamic at play here. I think in Ashley and Jade's relationship, as well as like what they're doing to Brandy.
Right.
For example, this is just something that happened. Like, Brandy's a diabetic. Ashley made a Facebook post saying she hopes that she can kill Brandy before the diabetes does.
Okay. That's stupid.
It's really stupid.
I'm like, I hope you don't have no insulin.
I'm going to give you a cupcake.
I hope
Now-
your insurance lapses, bitch.
I mean, what?
Stupid.
Stupid.
I
hope
mean,
you can't afford a
can we
copay.
just agree that Ashley is a big old shitbird?
She just sounds like a toxic person, and she's even Jade is being affected by. You know what I mean? No, Jade's playing her part, and let's be honest. Brandy may say some stuff back, or there may be a reason she's not cutting it off completely. Honestly, I think she still kind of likes Jade.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think she still cares for her. She still probably has a little thing for her still.
Which I
mean,
think makes it tough for her to break off all
yeah.
contacts completely. But Ashley, honestly, in this story, the way you're laying it out, sounds like a very toxic person with some pretty significant issues.
Yeah. Again, I think she's just a fucking bitch. Now, of course, I think, besides being a fucking bitch, I think Ashley's very jealous of Brandy.
Well, yeah,
Because
that's
Brandy's
it.
got it going on. She's successful at college. She's working 2 jobs. She's got money. She has a car. She has a future. And again, Ashley and Jade are both just sort of like losers with no direction. They don't have jobs. I mean, they don't really have anything going on but each other
Yeah,
while living at her parents' house.
she got a tiny vent, bitch.
we need to come out with like a little action figure, the tiny vent bitch, and you can buy it in our merch store.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're interested in a tiny vent bitch, let us know. We'll see if we can make that happen.
That's my vent lover. Get back in there. Here comes my wife.
Too bad the air conditioning's on.
It's cold in here, Daddy.
It makes my love cold.
Can
Made
you-
my love crawl back up inside me.
It's making me shiver. Can you turn the heat on? You'd be like, you have to wait till fall for that tiny vent, bitch. Get back in there.
God, you know what? I feel bad for the tiny vent bitch because our vents are dusty as hell.
Oh,
I told you the other day, I was like, I gotta clean these fucking vents, bro.
it's okay. She's a dusty bitch.
On May 17th of 2012, Brandy told her grandparents she had plans to hang out with a friend named Rhiannon. Now, in reality, Brandy had other plans. Jade had reached out a few days before, and the pair had been chatting, kind of the same old song and dance.
But hey, what are you doing? You over at Ashley's mama's and daddy's?
I'm in a tiny vent.
Y'all having supper in here in a little bit? Some beans and stuff?
Their mom and daddy give you some lunch money? You guys got some milk money?
Y'all just laid up over there?
Yeah, for real. I bet you didn't throw in nothing on that light bill, did you?
I bet you think them lights is free, don't you?
Jade indicated that Ashley wanted to bury the hatchet. She's like, look, we should all get together and Ashley can finally meet you and just see that you're like not competition and that you're a cool person and you guys can sort of like get to know each other and we can smooth this all out.
Okay.
Brandy probably thought like, okay, if I go, maybe I can show her I'm not a threat. We can talk this out. Maybe this stalking and madness can finally end.
You need me to pick y'all up?
Well, that would be. You want me to send you guys some bus fare?
Gosh.
Okay. So Jade had also mentioned during these conversations that they, meaning Jade and Ashley, had built a fort in the woods behind Ashley's house, and she couldn't wait to show Brandy. I'm like, are you 5 years old?
A fort?
Come see my fort.
We got pillows.
You can be a member of our club.
If you pulled a blanket over and turned the lights out, it's like you're outside.
This is the female man-hating club.
Nobody can't see you.
What was it the Little Rascals had? Like the something woman.
It's the Woman Hating Club of America or something like that.
Yeah.
A fort. Well, look. Okay, we're being mean. I mean, they've been doing something productive with their time. They built a fort out behind Ashley's mom and daddy's.
We are recreating Fort McHenry, right here. We're history buffs.
We're very big on sieges. And we like to recreate sieges.
We've decided we are going to be American revolutionary recreationists. We are going to participate.
I've built a tiny trebuchet that throws pebbles.
I want a trebuchet.
I've always wanted a trebuchet. I think it's an engineering feat. I mean, it really was one of the most advanced, an advance in, I guess, war machines.
You want to see my? I got double cannons. You want to see them?
Yeah.
You want to see my big cannons?
Yeah. That's right. I want them to explode.
I have them back here in my fort.
Come see my fort.
You'll have to cross over Pound Town to get there.
Damn. Okay.
There's a footbridge.
I could never afford nothing but a blanket fort,
Yeah.
like from chair to couch.
No, I mean, I remember as a kid, like, maybe stacking up some, like, twigs and, like, making a lean-to and then being like, this is my fort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brandy had this gut feeling that something wasn't quite right about this invitation. She texted her friend to say, like, I have a bad feeling about this meeting.
Don't go, girl. Then don't go.
I know.
Because
trust your gut.
That's your gut.
Trust your gut.
Because honestly, I'm sure the more she thinks about it, this is an awful big 180 on, just everybody's attitude all of a sudden. Let's be friends, blah, this and that. And see, that's even worse for Ashley didn't even know her, really. Had never really interacted with her that much.
Right.
To be so mean and vile.
And mad.
And hateful.
Like, why are you so big mad?
I know.
Like, somebody give this bitch a Valium. She big mad. Go smoke a joint and sit down.
So Brandy is having reservations.
She's having reservations about this meeting. So while she's texting her friend Rhiannon, she's like, look, I have this kind of bad feeling about all this. Therefore, I'm going to give you the address of Ashley's house. So Brandy sends along the address to her friend, which is smart.
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
But I would argue, if you feel like you need to do that, don't go. But hey, that's just me. I know they're young.
But, I'm like, we're looking at the,
But that is smarter than most young people would just, wouldn't even do that. They wouldn't make sure someone knows where they're going to be at.
Well, on the drive to Pennsylvania, Brandy had texted the friend that she really wasn't feeling that well. She thought it was low blood sugar and that she was going to stop at a Subway and grab a bite to eat. This would be the last time Brandy texted her friend. This last message saying, hey, I'm stopping at Subway, got the low blood sugars, need a little pick-me-up. Now, when Brandy arrives at the house, Jade took her 400 yards into the woods to show her this fort they had built. Come look at this fort. We're some grown idiots and we just built this. Too bad they didn't build a resume and get a job.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so now what I'm about to tell you next is going to be extremely graphic and disturbing. I know a lot of folks sometimes want to skip ahead. So you might want to skip ahead a few minutes. So prepare yourself, Dylan, because this is bad.
Are you going to tell me there's no fort?
Surprise! No, I was going to tell you they actually have a tiny little guy on watch at the fort.
Ah.
Yeah, he's going to tell you about his all the century commandments. Okay, so as they were walking down the path to the fort, Jade grabs Brandy by the hair and gets her in a chokehold. When Jade yelled the code word, which was babe, or like, hey babe, that was the code word, Ashley comes barreling down this small path and just starts punching Brandy in the face.
My God.
Now we have to talk about this. Brandy is much smaller than Ashley. Brandy's like a little thing. You know, she's not very tall, and Ashley towers over her, and Ashley's a big old girl.
How did I know?
And I mean, I'm a big old girl, so I can say she's a big old
You're
girl.
a little big girl.
Well, you always tell me I'm a cabin girl. You're always like, oh, look at them shoulders.
Well, I mean,
So I could barrel down the path at somebody too, Dylan.
you could barrel. I ain't no doubt about that.
Well, I'm
Be
just
like a
saying,
little tiny barrel.
it's not a fair fight.
No.
Right? Like,
well, it's 2 on
that
1
old
too.
saying, like, pick on someone your own size. Well, Ashley's definitely not picking on someone her own size because Brandy's not nearly as, like, tall or big as Ashley.
And plus, it's 2 on 1. So.
Well, there's that as well. Ashley was able to dominate the fight. I mean, again, she's physically stronger than Brandy. Ashley punched Brandy between 13 to 15 times in the face. My God. Brandy's nose was broken, as well as her glasses. During this attack, Brandy is screaming and begging to be let go. She tells Jade, quote, I text a friend this address. You know, people know where I'm at. Let me go. I won't press charges. Like, I won't tell anyone about the incident. Like, just please let me go. Now, the way I have to kind of describe this area to you, it's called like Drake Hill Road. And this house is fairly, is a very rural area, kind of this rural community. It's a dirt road.
Okay.
That, you know, kind of carves through this very wooded area, rural. And at the time, the nearest neighbor, which it's not like a close neighbor, but like the nearest neighbor to them, was reportedly cutting the grass, which probably, I'm going to guess, drown out Brandy's calls for help.
So the only person that might hear her was working in the yard with a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ashley and Jade proceeded to savagely beat Brandy. When Brandy tried to stand up from the ground, like once they, you know, she's taken all these hits, she's on the ground, Ashley would kick her legs kind of out from underneath her and would just start like wailing on her again, just punching her. At some point, Ashley dragged Brandy to a nearby tree stump and starts bashing this poor woman's head against it.
My God, this kind of fury, dude. It's insane.
By now, blood is gushing from Brandy's face and ears. That's when Jade grabs a shovel and she starts striking Brandy in the face with the shovel. Ashley is holding Brandy down while Jade hits her. And at one point, Jade accidentally whacks Ashley in the arm with the shovel. At this point, both women say they can see blood and brain matter.
What a brutal attack.
Ashley grabs a rope and tries to strangle Brandy with it. Brandy's no longer fighting back, but she still isn't dead, Dylan. And this is just horrible. I mean, she's hanging on, right? The women had then started to dig a shallow grave. Ashley places Brandy in it. That's when Ashley grabs a large, heavy rock and drops it from overhead onto Brandy's face.
My God.
Then they pour water into Brandy's face, like into her nose and mouth, to drown her, like to see if she's still breathing. And she sort of gurgles for a minute, and then, you know, they start throwing dirt and debris on top of Brandy's body. But she's still not dead.
I mean, I just don't understand who can do this. I mean, this is something you say for like a freaking, you know, child molester or rapist or something. I mean.
Well, if I was British, I'd say it's a pair of fucking cunts.
I mean, just to do this to someone you hate or whatever is very strange.
Look, I told you, like, this makes me so angry.
It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
It makes me really mad.
And how dumb are you to have someone come to your parents' house and do...
Well, they're dumb as fuck. After the murder, the women plan how they can cover it up. Brandy's car is still on the property. Brandy's car was described as always being like a bit messy. She always had, you know, like clothes and, you know, whatever in the car. I relate. My car often looks like this.
Mine does too. You might have some water bottles on the floor, maybe an old fast food bag or something.
Yeah, I've probably got, like there's a gym bag and some probably extra pair of tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And maybe an old hoodie,
3 or 4 half bottles of water in the
some
back.
water. Yeah, exactly. So Ashley and Jade, they take to cleaning Brandy's car. They scrub away what they think could be evidence, fingerprints, all that. And they back up all of Brandy's personal items into a trash bag. By evening, Brandy's grandmother is worried. She hasn't heard from Brandy all day. All of the text messages and phone calls are going unanswered. Grandma was also worried because, Brandy's insulin was left behind.
So she doesn't have her medicine.
She's a diabetic. She doesn't have her medicine. More phone calls are just going to voicemail. The next morning, Brandy has not shown up at home, and Grandma is still very worried. She reaches out to Brandy's mother, Carrie. Carrie begins calling Brandy's friends, asking if anyone has seen or spoken with her daughter. When Christy Horvat hears that her dear friend Brandy is missing, she reaches out to Rhiannon. That's the friend that Brandy had been texting on the day she went to Pennsylvania.
Is this the same friend that she gave the address to and such?
Yeah. Rhiannon is able to share Ashley's address with Christy and also explains that Brandy had been, nervous about this invitation.
Oh, my gosh.
She wasn't feeling good about it.
Now, could you imagine when your friend says something like this to you? Oh, I don't know if I should go or not. And you probably think they might get in an argument or maybe a mild tussle and somebody gets scratched or slapped or a black eye, God forbid, But, you never in your 1,000 years would imagine they disappear and don't come back. But once you hear that, could you imagine that feeling? Like, what the hell?
Christy headed to Pennsylvania to look for her friend. And that is one thing I have to say, Christy's awesome. Like, she jumps into action. She's like, I'm going to find my friend. So she gets in the car. She's like, probably not thinking clearly, but she's like, I'm going to Pennsylvania. I'm finding my friend. But by the time Christy arrives, it has turned dark outside. And Ashley's parents, as I mentioned, they live in this rural area with this dirt gravel road. There are no street lights. There's very few markings or signage. So she kind of gets lost while she's driving down this road, not exactly sure where the house is. And of course, at this point, she's like, well, even if I find the house, am I going to want to go there alone at night?
She starts to calm down.
What's waiting for me?
This is sensible thoughts.
I need to rethink this. Exactly. When Christy was driving to Pennsylvania, she had actually texted Jade and was like, I'm coming up there. And Jade responded saying, it's no man's land out here. You need to be careful. And also told her it was bear hunting season.
Okay.
Well, Christy was just like, okay, what does bear hunting season have to do with anything, right? She almost took that as some kind of threat.
Right.
And Jade had also made some comments about how locals don't really like gay people, which makes me think, so is she trying to paint an image of someone hate crimed Brandy?
Right. Setting the groundwork.
Out in this rural area. But bear hunting season. In May,
Well, I'm not a hunter, but I don't think that's when they go hunting bears.
Well, it's not. But anyway, Christy actually searches to see if it's bear hunting season in Pennsylvania and learns, no, it's not. It is not bear hunting season.
She's like, I Google it and it ain't.
Jade also had text again asking, are the police doing anything? Which Christy found odd.
Yeah, that's a strange response.
Brandy has been missing for 2 days. She doesn't have access to the insulin she requires, so her family files a missing persons report. 2 days later, Christy returns to Pennsylvania with Brandy's mother, Carrie, the grandparents, and Brandy's sister. When they arrive at the barber's house on Drake Hill Road, they are met outside by Jade and Ashley. The family thought Jade seemed nervous, while Ashley was really cocky and defensive. Jade told them that Brandy had never arrived at the house. They hadn't heard from her. They had no idea where she was. Meanwhile, the women seemed to be diverting attention away from the house, and they let the family know they didn't really want them near the house or the garage.
So they're just being weird.
Yeah.
Instead of
yeah.
worried that they're being told that Brandy was coming out there and now she disappeared. Which, just for sake of argument, would have been a much smarter play on their part. Like, I don't know, I don't know. We need to find her. We need to find what happened to her. Instead, you're being an ass about it, which is, because they're dumb anyway. So, yeah, I don't know.
They are dumb.
So now I can't imagine at this point how Brandy's family's feeling about, and friends are feeling.
Well, the temperature starts to heat up because Carrie confronts Jade about Brandy's whereabouts. Carrie knows this is the last place her daughter was supposed to be, and Jade's acting like it's not her problem. Oh, I don't know. Brandy never showed up, blah, blah, blah. I can't help you. And of course, Carrie's like, look, I know you're lying.
Oh.
I know you're lying. Like, you know where my daughter is. You better tell me where she is, what happened to her. Like, tell me. And she's like, I don't believe a thing that you're saying. Like, you're a known liar. You're full of shit. Where's my kid? And then that's when Ashley tells them, like, you better leave the property. On the way out of Pennsylvania, Brandy's family stops and contacts Pennsylvania state troopers at a nearby office and explain the situation, that Brandy has now been missing for 5 days, and that Ashley Barber's residence is the last place Brandy was known to be. Upon learning there was a missing persons case open in Ohio, a state trooper named Phil Schaefer visits the Barber property. He locates Brandy's car, a 2002 Kia Rio, in the driveway.
The fucking car is still there?
Well, they had moved it into the garage, so at the time her family arrived, it was in the garage. But now they've pulled it back out into the driveway.
Wow.
Because they're stupid.
They have the car on property still.
Right, but, he doesn't have a search warrant currently, but he sees, okay, her car is here. And, he's calling back in like, hey, we need to get a search warrant. We need to figure out what's going on. Now, according to Christy Horvat, Brandy's car had not been parked in that driveway the day before.
Or
right?
they would have never, they would have really lost it. Like, there's her car, or, yeah.
Law enforcement also finds out that Ashley Barber had been taken to the hospital around the time that Brandy went missing. Remember Jade hit her with the shovel?
Yeah, did it cut her?
I guess it did, but she told the emergency room that she had fallen down the basement stairs. And it also was said that Brandy, they thought Brandy had maybe headbutted her at some point during the struggle, so she might have had like maybe bruising or something on her head as well. By now, Ashley and Jade are trying to flee. An all points bulletin has gone out in the area for Brandy. An off-duty police officer recognizes Ashley and Jade getting gas and tips off the police that these two are at a gas station, and it appears like maybe they're trying to run.
Are they in Brandy's car?
I don't think so.
Okay.
They're probably in like somebody's mama's car.
It's not their car, that's for damn sure.
They were quickly apprehended and brought in for questioning. The pair were separated, and during interrogation, their stories lined up completely, like almost too completely. Like
right.
Rehearsed,
Yes.
right? After they were confronted with information that the trooper had found Brandy's car on the Barber property, both women start like changing their stories, straying a bit from these rehearsed replies, kind of, as old timers would say, pussyfooting around a little bit. Ashley tells detectives that Brandy did hang out with them for a little while, but the entire time she was texting a person named Jamie. And at some point, Brandy cleaned her car out of personal items and started walking on foot down the dirt road to go meet this Jamie person. So for whatever reason, Brandy has decided she's going to leave her car behind at Ashley's house. You know, the woman who's been stalking and harassing her for months.
That's the dumbest story.
I mean, totally makes sense, right?
Nobody's going to believe that.
While these interviews are happening, a search warrant is granted, giving law enforcement the ability to search the house and property. During these interviews, Ashley, they describe, seems really confident. She's sticking to the story. She's almost like arrogant, cocky, so very sure of herself. Jade, however, seems shaken, and law enforcement believe if they can apply enough pressure, like she's going to crack.
Right.
Like we can see she's someone that we can get to crack and tell the truth. So again, the search is happening while these two women are in custody, if you will. Investigators find a tree stump behind the house in this wooded area. It's a bit of a clearing, I guess you could say, in this wooded area. They find various blood spots on the ground and on the stump. So they're like, okay, we've got to get a cadaver dog to come in. The dog alerts immediately on a location. The area where the dog alerts looks like loose dirt, branches, and brush debris that's been sort of haphazardly thrown around or kind of piled up. A forensics team begins moving the dirt. In a few minutes, Brandy's body is unearthed in the shallow grave. They also find her personal items have been thrown into this pit as well. So all the stuff they took out of her car and bagged up, they've thrown into this grave with her.
You mean she didn't bag up all her personal items in a trash bag and walk down the dirt road away from her car?
She walked down the dirt road and all the way into a grave, Dylan. I mean, it's just the damnedest thing. Never seen anything like it. When investigators came back to Ashley with this revelation that Brandy's body, hey, it's been located in a grave behind your house, she's ready. She's got a story.
Shut up.
Ashley explains that her daddy is a real big homophobe. He just hates them gays.
This bitch is going to throw her own dad out?
Yeah, she does.
What the?
She's like, my daddy hates them gays. He goes gay bashing on the weekends.
I'm
going
going
to
to tell you, it ain't Bear Mays gay hunting season down here.
Yeah.
What?
My daddy just loves kicking around them gays. Now,
We
when
got a freezer full of gays down in the basement.
so her daddy, he's a gay hater.
What? This stupid woman. For real, dude.
Yeah. So when her daddy, her gay-hating daddy, learns that Jade is in the woods with Brandy, another woman,
What?
he starts...
That's a herd of gays.
he gets real mad now, and he runs down there with a shovel and starts bashing Brandy in the head. And it was her father who had dug the grave after he murdered Brandy. You know, because he hates them gays.
He hates them so bad.
He hates them so bad that he's allowing his gay daughter to live in the house with her gay girlfriend, her gay lover.
But 3 gays is too much.
You know, they say 3 gays don't make a straight, Dylan.
What a dumb story.
She's a dumbass.
Not seriously. I'm gonna have to look at these
She's-
pictures of this. I already think I know what she looks like.
She looks dumb.
She looks dumb.
She looks
Big dumb thing.
She's got a big dumb face.
Oh my God.
Now, when Jade is confronted, she's more forthcoming with information. Jade explained they had originally invited Brandy to the house just in order to kind of scare her, but that involved into making Brandy go away permanently. Jade never once mentions Mr. Barber or his involvement or that Ashley's dad is a, gay-hating, shovel-toting murderer.
Red-blooded American.
Nothing like that. These stories are not adding up for investigators. In the beginning, they had the same story, but now differing stories.
Quite different.
Yeah. Investigators decide to place the two women together for an interview.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we'll put you together and we'll see what you have to say. So during this interview when they're together, Jade is sobbing and Ashley just, she's cool. She's calm. She's callous even.
Well, she probably thinks she's going to get away with it now that she's put all the heat on her father.
But they finally tell Trooper Eric Mallory everything. Brandy's family had been told the last location of her cell phone had pinged in Meadville, Pennsylvania. And they had really hoped that maybe she simply had a medical episode and had to go seek treatment because she's not got her medicine. And maybe her phone died. Any minute she's going to call or they'll get news they found her. She's alive. She was at a hospital, something that, right?
It's the hope.
They're very hopeful. It's so sad. With enough evidence, the women are arrested, and the arraignment hearing takes place on May 24th of 2012 on charges of criminal homicide, conspiracy to commit criminal homicide, and tampering with physical evidence. Initially, the pair both plead not guilty despite this mountain of forensic evidence linking them to the crime.
Like the body behind her house?
That's her daddy's fault. Have I ever told you how much my daddy hates gays? Okay, so obviously, this is not news that her family wants to hear.
No.
But at least now, moving forward, they're like, okay, we're going to work through this and find some comfort in the justice system.
Well, yeah, I guess at
And-
that point, that's all
right.
you got left.
Brandy's autopsy revealed her manner of death was homicide caused by asphyxiation. She had been buried alive, and there was evidence of suffocation. Brandy had brown liquid in her nasal passages consistent with dirt. So remember I told you they had poured water
Yeah.
into her face, and then when they buried her, it's like the dirt mixed in, and that caused her to suffocate.
So even after the brutal beating, there was chance Brandy could have survived.
Yeah, possibly. Now, she did have blunt force trauma to the head. There were 15 lacerations to her scalp, a skull fracture, and they found a rope around her neck. The rope had been used to strangle her, but that did not cause death. The autopsy lined up with the confession. The injuries were consistent with the beating, the tree stomp, the shovel, the rope for strangulation, then the water, being poured into her face, a rock being bashed into her face. Just fucking horrible. The women's defense attorneys ordered psychiatric evaluations before trial, but both were found competent to stand trial. A psychiatrist who examined Ashley Barber believes that she suffers from depression, borderline personality disorder, and a sleep disorder. It is also her belief that Barber had, quote, a passive death wish.
Okay.
After months in jail awaiting trial, Jade decides she has put Brandy's family through enough already. She wants to spare them from a lengthy trial where they will have to rehash these brutal details. Like, she doesn't want to put Brandy's family through a trial. So on October 31st of 2013, Jade Olmsted officially pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ashley continued to assert she was not guilty, but on November 14th of 2013, she accepted a plea deal. Ashley learned she would also spend life behind bars.
Damn.
No chance of parole.
So what was the point of any of this?
Well, again, that's why it's like made me so mad because it's so stupid and so senseless. Like, exactly, what was the point?
Nothing gained. You attacked and beat this poor girl, killed her, tortured her, and ruined both of your lives as well. And almost ruined your gay hunting daddy's life.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Stupid.
I mean, it's so stupid.
It's literally the stupidest. The prosecutors had acquired Jade's journal as evidence. She had written on the day that Brandy was killed about using the shovel to hit Brandy in the head and stated it was, quote, perfect. She also described seeing her former girlfriend's brains and skull mixed in with the dirt.
Jeez.
Excerpts from this diary were read into the court record at this plea hearing. At the plea hearing, Jade said, quote, I'm truly and deeply sorry for what happened. Brandy did not deserve what happened to her. But notice she doesn't say for what I did to her.
Right.
For what I caused.
No, she's sorry she got her life affected by her actions.
Yeah. Both Jade and Ashley have filed appeals to overturn their plea agreements, but both have been denied. Their sentences have been upheld, and the women will die behind bars. Not together.
I thought...
They'll die behind bars separately.
I guess I didn't understand, but I thought when you accepted a plea, you basically waived your right to appeal.
Well, you do.
Okay.
But sometimes these people try to get like post-conviction relief. And
Right. Okay.
Like, or they'll allege like their attorney coerced them into signing it or some dumb shit like that.
Okay.
But then the court's like,
Or lack of effective counsel or
you
something.
signed it.
Right.
Fuck you. Brandy's body was cremated. Her mother, Carrie, stated she didn't want her daughter to be buried in the ground again. I mean, how heartbreaking is that?
Damn.
A memorial service was held for Brandy in which many family, friends, and members of the LGBTQ community turned out. Money was raised to install a memorial bench at Youngstown State University in Brandy's name. Brandy also, her parents also set up a memorial scholarship, which is cool. Christy Horvat said of her friend Brandy, quote, "All Brandy wanted was to be herself in a world without prejudice, and I believe Brandy achieved that goal as best she could. Brandy was an inspiration to others. She taught others not to fear who you are, but to embrace his or herself. She shared 20 years with us, and now it is time to cherish those years." Ashley Barber is currently serving her life sentence at Cambridge Springs in Pennsylvania, and Jade Olmstead is an inmate at Muncie Prison in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's too good for them.
Which Muncie has actually been in the news recently because Miranda Barber, which was another case we covered quite a few years ago, is at that prison, and she's filed a lawsuit stating, that she was sexually abused and assaulted at this prison, and the guard has been let go, and so there's a whole lawsuit pending.
I guess they don't have the I don't think men should work at women's prisons, but I don't think they have enough female detention officers to make something like that possible. And you often hear, and I'm not saying there's not exploitation in male prisons as well. I mean, there's all kinds. It happens in both. But, it's just a bad dynamic in a female prison with men being the detention officers. Because there's no way around the fact that you have a lot of power and control over those
absolutely.
inmates. And it's abused. And a lot of times they're... well, in male prisons especially, COs who have that kind of attitude with prisoners, usually it gets... The veteran officers will tell you that's not the way to go. Because they're going to get you one day or another. Eventually, they're going to get you. If you're like overbearing, treating them shitty or extra mean.
You mean the inmates?
The inmates.
Will seek revenge.
They're going to get you
against a guard.
Oh yeah, it'll
Yeah.
get worked out one way or the other. So, but yeah, that's terrible. I mean, I don't remember what crime she was sent to prison for.
Well, Miranda Barber and her boyfriend, or actually I believe it was her husband, she was working as an online sex worker, and she met up with a guy and they robbed and murdered him.
Oh, well, that sucks.
So I'm sorry that you don't remember the case, Dylan. I'm sure we covered it very well, and
Well,
it was probably awesome because we only piss excellence here at Mountain Murders.
No, but that still doesn't give anyone a right to exploit someone when they're in prison.
Well, no, and I brought that up just simply because I had, checked where are they being held or whatever, and learned that Ashley is being held at a minimum security facility, while Jade is being held at a medium to high security facility. And one of the first headlines that popped up was about that Miranda Barber case, and I was like, oh wait, we covered that case. So,
Well, I would think Ashley's the more dangerous of the two.
well,
How's that work?
who knows why that's how it worked out.
Of course, Jade, I mean, those entries into her journal, very disturbing. So she, she
Well,
was,
and again, prison is prison, so I'm not even really sure being at a minimum security prison is gonna somehow be better. 'Cause you're still in fucking prison, dude.
well, yeah, but I think it can affect,
You still gotta shit in front of somebody in a cell.
it can affect the
You still live in a bathroom.
the amenities, your access to stuff.
You live in a bathroom.
But that's too good for you. They don't deserve to live in anywhere. I mean,
No.
what they did was so hateful.
Those two girls should have to just share one cup.
That it was just hateful and senseless, and they were losers, and they just couldn't let go of the fact
Crabs in a barrel.
that Brandy wasn't a loser.
Gotta pull down the winner.
And they literally, took someone out of this world that it seems like everyone talked about, like you described, so bubbly.
And had a bright future.
And was
she
trying to do
probably
something.
really would have gone on to do great things.
Yeah.
Because she was so caring and loving and helpful
And driven.
really wanted to make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. like I said, this case made me really mad.
How dumb bitches. I mean, I just don't get it. This makes no sense.
You know, Dylan, one thing that cannot be said about our podcast, no one will ever say they like romanticize the murderers or like celebrate them.
No.
I'm like, we're the most shit talking, trash talking podcast when it comes to perpetrators.
We're not going to sugarcoat it. And you can say, oh, they had this and that disorder, whatever. A lot of people have those disorders
And they don't go around killing
fucking
people.
kill people. So don't give me that
beat
shit.
someone to death.
I'm not trying to hear that. You're a monster if you can do this to another human being.
They're monsters.
Especially over nothing.
Over nothing. I mean, that's the thing. Brandy's not like instigating this. She's not reaching out to Ashley. She's not harassing Ashley.
No.
It's quite the opposite.
If you have to get the victim to drive to you, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
You can't even drive over there?
Jesus.
You can't even meet halfway?
No. You have to get them to come all the way out the dirt road where you're stuck up at your mom and your daddy's.
Bunch of dorks.
Bunch of losers.
All right, Dylan. Well, thank you for discussing Brandy's case with me today.
Thank you. I was sad. What
It's
happened
really
to
sad.
that poor girl.
It is so sad. But, you know, I would like to honor Brandy's memory and just let everybody know, like, what an awesome person. I mean, she really sounded awesome and like someone that we would want to be friends with.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like,
For
she'll
sure.
like concerts and going to punk shows. And I mean, I can just, you know, imagine we would vibe with her, dude. She seemed really cool.
I'd love to hung out with her.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for that, Heather. And again, if you'd like to join us at, I'm going to try this. Let's see if I get it right. At patreon.com/Mountain Murders Podcast, you can join us for our series on the West Memphis 3.
Yeah.
Was
get
that
those
right?
Ad-free episodes.
Ad-free episodes,
Yeah.
a ton of content. And come on over to the Discord and we'll hang out and talk.
All right, Dylan. So we have one episode left in the month of September.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So countdown. College. We're talking about college students and you know, high school students. So we'll continue that. We've got one more episode, and then we'll be into our spookiest month.
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait for October this year. We're going to do a little decorating.
Yeah, and our theme for October, Mountain Murders Midweeks, or, you know, sometimes this week, are going to focus on, we're going to talk about horror movies that are based on real, true stories and cases. So we'll be talking a little bit about the movie and the case and maybe like some of the differences, liberties that are taken from, you know, reality to screen.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun discussion.
That sounds awesome. And, you know, I think we should try to get some candy and try to give it out to the little trick-or-treaters this year. Yeah, we'll see how that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's... Oh, all right.
I'm excited about Halloween.
Interesting.
Let me live.
Bring that up now. Sure, Dylan, you can go get you some little Tootsie Rolls or whatever and pass those out.
We know it's really just a ploy
to eat the candy.
for me to end up with a bowl of candy. I'm talking about, I guess they didn't show up.
You don't fool me, Dylan. I knew that all along.
All right. So until next time, we will see you on sometime this week.
Dylan's got to go check on his little vent bitch.
So we had the part 2 to last week's case for the, you know, in the middle of the week this time. So I can't wait for a recap. A lot of stuff going on.
So much.
It's so much to talk about.
Where did legends come
can't
from?
wait.
Are they born out of the land and the stories people tell about it? Or have they always been there, waiting to be discovered?
What does it mean if we forget them?
How do they remind us they're there?
Is it a bump in the night?
Will they come in a dream?
Will stories pass from sets of lovers' lips like kisses do? I'm Eleanor.
I'm Martin.
And we are a real-life married couple and the creators and hosts of Three Ravens, an independent myth and folklore podcast all about folklore, folkways, and the power of stories.
For a little over 2 years, we've been releasing weekly episodes about England's 39 historic counties, exploring the history, folklore, traditional foods and customs of each area, and chatting about their ghosts and mermaids, mythical monsters, half-forgotten heroes, bloody legends, and much,
much more.
Along the way, we've released whole 13-episode bonus series about cryptids and mythical creatures, interviews with authors, storytellers, and local experts from each county, heritage crafts dying out as society changes, the history of magical practices, folk songs, folkloric true crimes, and the most famous witches and wizards ever to have lived.
We've retold over 100 stories for Three Ravens. Most episodes are standalone, but if you want to adventure with us, we have over 350 in the back catalogue for you to listen to right now, wherever you get your podcasts, and even more through our Patreon.
Right now, we're preparing to launch our 7th series, which will be all about the myths and legends of the 13 historic counties of Wales. Before next year, we turn our focus to the 13 original states of the American Union.
Our first book was also just published in hardback, Three Ravens Folktales, and we're touring all over the UK, so come and see us live if you can.
You can learn all about us on our website, threeravenspodcast.com, or just search Three Ravens Podcast on your chosen podcast app.
Ranked as one of the top 50 all-time English podcasts, the number 5 top witchy podcast, and the number 6 all-time top short story podcast on the whole internet, according to Good Pods, come gather round the Three Ravens campfire and listen in.
And remember, don't whistle till you're out of the woods.